Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on June the 14th. And these are my reflections and my takeaways. Something that I've learned from listening to Bishop Barron is the contrast between the sea and the solid, firm ground, the dry ground. And the sea tends to be where the storms are in the Bible. That tends to be where the chaos is, where things are out of sorts, whirling and swirling and chaotic. And then we come to firm, dry land. That is where he places us and invites us to walk along the path. So he acknowledges that in the culture, you guys, we are going to encounter wandering, pursuing, desperately pursuing in a sea of meaninglessness, searching, pursuing, grasping, clinging, unfulfilling. And then it says he pulls us from the sea of despair. So out of the storm, out of the chaos, and he provides an internal sense of peace. In this reading, it is an external robe of righteousness. I'm not sure that other people can see the robe of righteousness he has placed on me, but it is how I begin to walk when I know that I am wrapped in that robe of righteousness. And I've mentioned before, the robe of righteousness, the fabric is the same, and that is the blood and Savior of our Savior, Jesus Christ. So that robe of righteousness, but how we walk it out once we acknowledge that we are wrapped in that powerful presence, that is the internal changing. That is when our beliefs begin to change and it reflects in our behaviors. So we are invited to sit, to be still, to know that we have always been loved. He will meet us in those storms, in the sea of meaningless and despair, and he will bring us to his powerful presence of peace. And I also like that this one talked about creating a song and that he sings to us. And I like that he tries to create things that are really in our human form through our five senses. And I'm sitting outside and I can hear the birds singing, and I can turn that into the music of his presence, that is a song from him. This is a season, a day of his powerful presence. So take some time, sit and reflect, go out in nature, see the beauty, the tapestry, the garden, the colors that he has created for us to enjoy. So we'll tap into those readings for today. The first one is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 3. The Lord appeared to us in the past, saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness. I think Jeremiah, as a major prophet, really reminds me of the truths of the Bible, the truths of the Old Testament, because we know in our human form, we are going to drift and we are going to wander and we are going to sin and we are going to miss the mark. But these are helping us to have this level of awareness, to know thyself, know where we are in relation to peace, and developing the tools that bring us back into his powerful presence. The next reading is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. I delight greatly in the Lord. My soul rejoices in my God. For he clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns herself with jewels. I like to think of this as the external. Our behaviors will begin to change. Our behaviors follow our beliefs. And when we begin to walk adorned with a crown, when we begin to walk with a robe of righteousness, and I'm not talking about cultural confidence that comes from the ego. I'm talking about a powerful presence of peace that we kind of begin to exude, a calmness, a stillness, that in the midst of that storm, in someone else's sea of despair and of the sea of meaningless. And when we sit and be still and allow him to infuse and cultivate this garden, it says here that he places meaning in our mind and he places harmony in our heart. The final reading is the 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. You guys, we are transformed. We are in a season of transformation, and the external world will begin to see the changes that are taking place. We don't have to proclaim with our mouth. We can preach the gospel without ever saying a word by being that source of peace and encouragement. So y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.